Hello, everybody, and welcome to these Ascension messages. My name is Bobby Richardson, and I'll be your guide for today. So today we are going to do live channeling and probably some Q&A after, depending on how much time we get. Also, just a little bit of housework. I've got a new video that I'm going to be bringing out, and I'm focusing on an earth message. So channel message from earth, Gaia herself, and see what comes through with that. I feel there's this real connection between everything at the moment. So I'm kind of like darting in and out of the CYANIANS and earth and humanity's consciousness at the moment. It's like this triad of energies coming together that I can work with and relay messages to you guys from them. So it's like I'm just choosing the one that feels relevant in the moment and going with that and really trusting it. I'm going to be focusing all my energy from now on just on channeling, because that's who I am and that's where I'm supposed to be going. I know that 100%. So I will bring through the CYANIANS a bit more, but I'm also going to have a little chat about these new energies and the messages that they're being given to me. I don't have anything written down on my phone today. I feel like this needs to be a free energy at the moment, and see what comes up, because there's been a really beautiful time in humanity's consciousness. It's a chance to flip your energy into something that's completely in line with your soul, and with that, it's not as easy as you think. It's not always an easy journey. So just make sure that you're really kind on yourself and through this whole procedure. But the thing is, that happens, they're telling me now, yeah, but you don't, I'm saying be kind to yourself, and they're saying, yeah, but that's automatically what's going to happen when you start to flip into bringing your soul through. So it goes hand in hand with these new energies that are coming anyways. So yes, I'll have to get my glasses on so I can read the chat bar. I keep forgetting about that. I'm like, oh, I'm just channeling. I won't be reading anything. But I will be, excuse me, I'll be reading the chat bar messages as well as we go along. Hey, Phoenix, good to see you. Good morning, good morning. Oh, yes, very long time since you've been here. And you're right at the very start too. Hey, Diane, good to see you. Anyways, let's get into this. Now, there's a massive opportunity coming to humanity's consciousness at the moment, especially those that have been doing the work, and that's usually who I end up talking to. And I'm talking about the work of the soul, the inner work of what we're doing. We're shedding our shadow self, and we're coming up to all these obstacles and saying, oh, what do I really want? How do I want to react to this? This is one of the things that is coming up in these messages, is how do we really truly want to react to this? Because whatever we react to, we bring in on ourselves. And it's the maturity of putting the logical mind back in its place of where it's supposed to go. And there's a maturity that comes with this, and allowing the intuition and to speak and just go, you know what, as an intuitive thought here, or an intuitive feeling that I have, my logical mind might not understand it. So it does feel like, to the logic, it's an unknown field or quantity that we're moving into. We're like, logically, this doesn't even make sense. Logically, I'm reacting this way, or I'm moving towards this goal in this manner, and it doesn't even make sense to my logic anymore. But that's because we've put our logic in its rightful place. We've said, no, shush. My intuition, my gut is feeling its way through this. It's allowing the soul to speak. And that's how we allow our soul to speak, is to allow our feelings to come through us, so that our logical mind can just take its place, its rightful place. And it does have a rightful place, believe you me. It has its place, so that when we really need to do the action, we say, well, logic, how do we actually put this into physical action? But as things come up in your life, and there could be some turmoil, there could be some real obvious, oh my God, what is happening with my life, moments where everything seems to either crumble, or it could just be little things that are coming in to you that you're just going, what the? And it's exercising that maturity level within yourself of how you've already done the shadow work, and now you're starting to step into, now we're not reacting from the logical mind and trying to fixate on a point of, oh my God, it's going to go that way. That means I have to get this protection up and this, and I have to really make sure that I'm going to say the right thing, and I have to predict everything that I need to do. No, this is more of a pushing that aside and allowing your intuition to feel its way through. Excuse me. At this moment, I need to walk away. At this moment, I need to speak my mind. At this moment, I need to, come from my heart. And at this moment, just keep on feeling your way through. And your logic is going, where are you going? What are you trying to do to me? I had this plan that this has to be this way. And the rest of the story that's coming at you is shaking that plan up. Like, yeah, it's interesting. It really is within us. We do have these two beautiful, we could call them personalities, but they're actually a wholeness within itself, a yin yang, so to speak, of energy that actually creates this reality. So I don't really want to put a word as personality on this. It's more of a opposite ends of the field where we have energy or etheric world, our imagination, what we want to pull through, heaven, or so to speak, utopia, whatever you want to call it, soul, and then learning to ground it and and if we keep on overreacting or reacting towards things, what happens is the story outside of us will only reflect that reaction of, oh my gosh, I need to be overprotected, I need to, and then you don't feel like you found the love within yourself. You're constantly asking the outside world, tapping on the mirror, asking the outside world, hey, shift before I do, so that I feel secure, because that's what the logic wants. The logic is constantly going, shift outside world before I really feel that shift, so that I feel I know where I'm going, because it wants to know where it's going. But we're asking our logical mind, or our grounded mind, to actually ask to listen to our intuitive feeling, our gut, our instincts, our knowing that we're safe. And when we start to feel, and when our logic starts to feel into that, we get a grounding, we get a bucket, a solid feeling of where our bucket is holding us safe. And we say, even though I'm moving towards this unknown aspect, I feel safe. I feel safe because I can feel the love within myself, and I'm trusting that. I'm trusting that the love within myself will only ever take me to a beautiful place, and a beautiful place, and a beautiful place in every moment. It's just that at the moment we're literally in this, and they're showing me like a wave that's crashing down on us. And when it crashes down, we can either, get sucked into the turmoil like we did in the past. And then we try to take a breath, and we're like, oh my God, no, I finally found a bit where I can feel a little calm. And then another wave will come and crash down. But they're showing us, no, we're learning to ride the wave. We're learning to duck under the program that we used to pull under us to overreact or react towards our reality, and duck under that, and then come up and then ride this wave. Like we're surfers, we're in control, we know what we're doing. Why? Because we trust ourselves. A surfer will always trust themselves if they tackle bigger waves. They have this, I know what I'm doing now, and they move towards that wave, and they can duck and dive within it. And then they feel the ride. They feel the ride of life. Well, this is the ride of life that we're talking about, obviously. We're not all going to become surfers or anything like that. Yeah, so there's this whole real newness that's coming towards humanity's consciousness of learning to ride the your story, and where you're wanting to go and take this through through allowing us to listen to our intuitive mind, and using our imagination to build something. And then we keep on constantly asking our logical mind, can you ground this? Do you think you could ground this? And then the logical mind go, well, I can do a bit to it, a piece to this, bit by bit. We might be able to get this through, we might be able to ground it. Or it might say, absolutely, I'm not up to that just yet. That's just way too pie in the sky for me to take just yet. But how about we try this? And so we're talking to ourselves in a gentle way. It's a new way of self-talk. They keep on reminding me to envision yourself as a benevolent being. What would a benevolent being do? What would somebody, or even someone that you've watched that just seems to be very centered and grounded in who they are and just move through this life in a way like that? What would they do? I have a beautiful daughter that's a middle child, and she has this way of being able to move through her life with ease. Sometimes she'll get stuck and I'll remind her, no, you're powerful. And then she just seems to move through it with this ease. And she has a very grounded, easygoing nature. And they used to put all the ADHD kids next to her because she didn't go into their story. And she's learning now not to go into her own story as well, even more so. So her life is becoming even grander. And this is what she taught us. So I sometimes will tap into her just to go, I need to be centered. I need to be grounded. And then, okay, Ayla wouldn't even react to that. My daughter wouldn't even react to that. She would just go, just move through it. Like they say with a wave, she just duck under it and then pop up the top of the wave itself. Hey, dear. Good to see you. Hey, Nicole and Maggie. Good to see you on the chat bar as well. Yeah, if you do have any questions for later, just put them aside and I'll open up the chat bar for questions, Q&A as well. It's interesting. Like I'm putting my finger here. They're saying, tell your logical mind to just shush. Allow a space within yourself. Just shush. Allow a space within yourself for your soul, your intuition to be felt. So you could end up being in a position where everything is going chaos or things are going a bit square. And then they're saying, shush, now feel into it. Just keep on feeling into it. Sometimes, we're the ones that have to take the first lead into serenity, into grace, into sometimes, the ones especially that watch me are like guides and leaders towards this new reality, we're learning together here. And stop, trying to find somebody else to do it. It's interesting because I just said to you, watch somebody that is really benevolent in that to get into that vibe. But then they're saying, now take the lead. Now take the lead. And your reality, where you're at with your family and your workmates and your everything. Now take the lead and become that, and have enough gumption within you, assertiveness within you to walk away from the drama, to when things don't feel right, walk away, and then come back from the heart. If you're going to come back into that situation again, coming from the heart. This is us stepping into teaching others just from us learning ourselves and moving towards it within our own dynamic, that then others will see that there's another way, alternative way to live, where we don't have to constantly be poking our outside to tell us that of our self-value. who we can trust. No, we're the ones that we need to trust. And if you feel that you need to trust yourself, you are to put yourself back in a position where you know that havoc is happening. Go in there with self-respect. Go in there with serenity. If this is, I know that this is going to be something that we will try, and then we will probably fall back again, and we'll try, and then we'll fall back again, and that. But I'm starting to feel this month coming, and further up, down, further into, the life. We're going to get this. We're going to start. This is how our new self is going to start to become, where we don't react to things anymore as we did, but we are moving through our life like a joyful child. And that joyful child is something we were born into. We were born as a joyful child. Most of us have, unless you had a real trauma that you had to clear, and you might have put yourself in a position where you are clearing that in a big way. Most children that are born, that's why they have that pure essence. They are completely vulnerable. They don't know how to walk. They don't know how to feed themselves. They don't, they can't. They need something else in this outside world to help them. That's how beautiful you are. You are as beautiful as the vulnerableness of just a pure love that a child has, that a baby has. And this is what we are learning to return back to, but with the maturity of who we are and the value of this world that we've created. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. I'm just going to turn off my aircon. I'm getting a little cold. Sounds good. Grounding first. Yeah, always come back to self-love. That's how I'm feeling it anyway. Okay, what other messages is coming through for the energy at the moment? Ascension coming. They're saying ascension coming. And interesting to note, 2023, December 2023, and I hadn't even put this together until this morning. I'm into numerology, but I haven't really done a lot about it lately, and I certainly don't count numbers or anything anymore these days. I just like to feel into the energies, but it was brought up into my reality that 2023, 12 added up equals 1. So this is all to do with this month coming back into the independence of oneself and just really stepping into what you need. What do you need to move yourself forward to have supported you, and no longer looking at anyone else for their support anymore? Because when we find the solid bucket of ourselves, we become the magnet for others that are in that frequency to come towards each other. And then within the unity of that, we create the more and more of us that become in alignment of that, and know where they're going within the grounded work that we're doing, as in the logical, business sense, or family dynamics, friendships and stuff like that. We create a joining that happens, two circles coming together of a newness, and within that power of the two that's coming together, and then more, they're showing me the tree of life, and then they're showing me the flower of life. And when we get to the point where it's the flower of life, and there is one, there could be one person that's holding that has a connection here, and then another that's over this side, they might not even need to meet, but their energies are relevant for the whole. So there's an interesting dynamic that's happening when we start to step into ourselves becoming in line with who we are. It is a natural gravitation. Instead of graspy, I need something to validate my self-worth so I can show this person I made it. I need a job to validate my self-worth so I can show this person I'm worth it. That sort of thing is always a graspy field of pointing at the mirror or telling your outside world to show you who you are before you've actually become it yourself. So this month and further on down the line, we are learning that we are the solidness of ourselves. We are the ones that love ourselves that much that as an internal self, that then we are recognizing that everything outside of us is part of that love of ourself as well. And the outside world is an extension of you. It is an extension of that love. And so you wouldn't want to treat anyone with disrespect, because you'll be treating yourself with disrespect. You literally understand that when you get to these higher frequencies within yourself of bringing through your soul and understanding who you are, and you literally understand that then. And so it's a natural given that the world starts to shift. Your world starts to shift. Your reality starts to shift. We didn't understand the value of that love within ourselves before, because we were programmed with guilt. We felt that if we needed to go down the guilt and the fear and all of that we will become stronger. And yes, there is a dynamic to know that you can get yourself out of it, but you have to have got yourself out of it to understand that you could handle it. So we're learning now how to get ourselves out of it, so that if it ever approaches our reality again, whether it be this life, the next life, we say, aha, I recognize this. I know how to flip myself out of that dynamic again. And you become more powerful within your soul, and you can ground more love into this reality or the next reality that you decide to move towards, to gain more introspection of yourself. So yeah, pretty powerful messages coming through at the moment because of this alignment within ourselves, and having a better understanding. When we start to step into it, we start to recognize, we start to understand it more. We can, I can say as much as I like to you, but it's not until you actually feel it yourself that you're going to go, oh my God, I get it now. So really, if this could be just planting seeds for you, but the energy at the moment with in December is literally feels to me of a brand new life starting. And it's really interesting. Somebody said to me, and I'm not sure if this is for real, but they're bringing it up for me to bring up, so maybe it is the truth, that Virgo is in everyone. Apparently there's some sort of Virgo planet within, or Virgo alignment within everybody. I don't know for real, but I've got like 5 or 6 Virgos within my sign. And I always feel like I'm like one little step, just one little step in front, and understanding or going through the horror of what we've gone through. And then relaying the messages as my guides have been telling me, this is how to do it, this is how to do it, this is how to do it. And I just keep on listening to them because I trust them 100%. Why? Because I've seen them. They've actually come to me and I've seen them. So that to me, they're physical, that they are for real. Too many incredible coincidences that's happened. Anyways, I feel like the people that I talk to are the people that are coming into understanding more and more of themselves, and they become the guiding force within their own reality, and then that moves out. And we are literally together doing this. We are literally becoming the circle, and see, a circle, whether it be me, you, or whoever else is watching this, is a circle, right? There's no different to this circle to this circle. And when we come together, we recognize that we are just love going on a beautiful journey. And where do we really want to take this? What do we really want to ground? How much? And we don't listen to the outside world anymore. We walk away from it. We walk away from the program. And interesting that they asked me to put that as a title, to walk away from the program, because we're no longer needing to we're not holding it up anymore by giving it or feeding it the energy that it's required to keep it going, which is feeding us as a less than, lack of, guilt, fear, not trusting ourselves, that sort of thing. We are not feeding it within ourselves, and so we are not feeding that program anymore. And then we are going to be moving into this whole new dynamic where everyone that comes with you is somebody that is a reflection of the self-love that you found within yourself. It was always there. It's just that you covered it up with trusting somebody else's words over your own, or trusting somebody else's, energy over your own, and whether that be a teacher, your parents, or whatever. But when you recognize yourself as just source energy and this beautifulness going on a journey in your body, you cannot be anything but magnificent. You cannot be anything but that love moving towards a better and better life. And I'm not saying that it's not a difficult transition. I'm not saying that it's all going to be airy fairy and beautiful all the time. I'm just saying that you know how to get yourself out of those moments as you go along in your future. They stick out more, and so you can go, oh, I see that. I don't really want to be entangled with that. I remember back 10 years when I was, and I don't need it anymore. So you just choose different paths. And the paths that you're choosing are golden paths. It keeps showing like golden paths lighten up, instead of taking the darker paths and trying to say, see how strong I am. I handled all of this horribleness, and see how bad it got. I handled all of this horribleness. We're not doing those paths anymore. We're going, I see that path, and I know that I don't want to go through that anymore. So it might just touch you, or you might just feel, something just might come towards you. Also, they're telling me that as we go through this whole big change is something that we're going to have to embrace. Change is something that we're going to have to learn to acknowledge as something beautiful. So change could happen in your life, and allow that to be present. Allow the change to happen. And it's not that, you race out there and try to force things into your desired outcome. No, it's all to do with you coming back to yourself and loving who you are. And if something falls away, which leaves room for change, they're asking us to embrace that change. If it doesn't fall away and it's moving up to your vibration, and you meet in the middle and you collaborate, then so be it. Then there is no shift in your outside reality, and you keep on moving towards what you love, and you just keep doing that. But if we don't embrace change, and we fear change, we will become stuck in the moment again, and then we won't be able to handle it. Oh my gosh. Hey, Dave, good to see you. Hey, Lindy and Oxygen. Hello, aloha. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I'm just going to feel back into that change thing. I think there's some more messages coming about that, and shifting our life, allowing the shift to happen and embracing it, and not worrying about what other people are saying about that shift, that change that happens. Not worrying about how you look to the outside world so much as how you're feeling when you're moving through the change. And that's personal to you and your universe that you're creating, your universe, your one verse song, rhyme that you're creating, You're the central point of your vibration that is moving. And so your vibration is always in flux, moving in and out. And it does that so that it can give you lots of stories, and you can then choose which one you want to go to. But now that we're shifting into self-love and finding that value within ourselves, if somebody comes at us and tells us we're useless, we just water off a duck's back, doesn't matter. Move towards the golden path. They keep on bringing up a golden path. That's the thread. Okay, they're bringing it up as there was a color code video that I brought through, and they're bringing it up as the golden thread that weaves out on the outside of a tapestry or a story to make it shine, to make it even more beautiful, to uplift it, up-level the tapestry into something more, or the story into something more. It's because of the spark. There's something to do with the spark within the soul coming into the body, and the spark. Okay. And the spark shining like it does off gold. And that's within your life, shining out and showing others your beauty, your power, your essence, and not being afraid to do that anymore. Even no matter how unique that looks to others. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Oh, whoa, we're already 30 minutes in. I didn't expect that at all. I thought we were like 10 minutes in. Let's see if there's anything else coming through. Okay, so there's everything in your life is a sign, they're saying. You know how we fixate on coincidental signs that are coming through to us? They're telling us everything is a sign of who we are and where we're going, and our energy at that moment. Everything is a reflection. So everything is a sign. What animals come into your reality, what kind of thing you're playing out. Like the other day, I had this really crazy energy of helping others, and I ended up having a baby bird that flew on the road, but it was one of the bigger baby birds, so it didn't it had the puffiness, and you could tell it was, I don't know what the frig I'm doing on this road. It just sort of fell out of a tree that was in the central island. It was a busy road, and you know, I just could not. If I'm in the vicinity of something, I'm there to help, because I'm Earth. I'm part of the equation in that moment. I won't not help if I can, if I'm not putting myself or others in danger. Absolutely, I will help. There wasn't any cars behind me, but I just sort of put my car on a line like that, because I knew someone was bound to come up behind me, and just stopped the car and then ran out. By that stage, this other guy pulled up behind me, and I just ushered this bird off the road. And as I'm walking back, he's waved his hands, and I was thinking, well, I could take that one way. I could take that as good on you, or I could take that as what the hell are you doing? But it doesn't really matter anyway. And then I just jumped in the car and moved off. And then that afternoon, we had a massive storm here, like a massive storm. It just flew. It was like this crazy amount of wind just flew through everything. And the top of this massive tree right outside our house just went crash and then broke. And interesting, they've told me when something breaks, actually, a sign that I've been told in the past is when a tree falls, it could be the end of something, but it doesn't necessarily mean the end of the actual story. It means the end of the energy. Anyway, I was standing there, and I'm like pouring down with rain by this stage, and I'm thinking that someone's going to crash into that tree. It's starting to become dusk. And I just thought, I don't care if I'm going to get absolutely drenched. I ran out there, and these things were quite a big branches. They weren't little. So I'm like dragging them to the side, and then my partner came out and helped me as well. So crazy energies where you just in this situation where you need to help, and everything is a sign, because I there was just one of those days where I needed to give back for some reason. And then there's going to be days where you need to receive. Don't forget that there's days where you need to receive. And a lot of us that are doing this work, that we feel that to receive means that we think we're more important than others, and that's just an ego trip. We don't deserve, or I could give it to everybody else, or whatever that energy is. But they're asking us to receive, because it is a natural reflection of source energy you valuing yourself. So source energy valuing you is you valuing yourself, and reflection that needs to come in as your true essence of who you are. What you do with it is up to you, but it's don't think that they don't want us to fall into the energy of a guilt with receiving. Because when we fall into that energy of guilt, we're saying to the universe that we don't deserve, that we're guilty, we feel guilty. It's not a nice energy, and that means that the next thing that is going to be gifted to you will you either won't see it, or it will just deplete really quickly, or it'll be like they call those in Indian, I don't know, that sounds ridiculous, like somebody who gives and then takes away quickly kind of thing. And then you'll get disheartened about where is my lot kind of thing. So expect gifts this month. Expect something new coming into your life as the reflection of the work that you've done. And put your hand out and be grateful. Just feel into the gratefulness of it. There was one time there where I was really struggling with this energy, and I felt guilty a lot for receiving. And they said to me, someone's going to gift you something, and what we want you to do is to not say, backsies, it's too much, no, or that sort of thing, which I'd normally do. They just wanted me to say a simple thank you. And then a week later, someone put $1,000 in my account, like $1,000, and they said it's a gift for you. Crazy how this happens, right? And I just went, thank you. And I felt into the energy of how difficult it was. And I realized I learned such a valuable lesson then of I'm not a receiving. I don't like to receive, and I've really got to shift that, because here I am asking the outside world to gift me something to show up as my own self-support system and allow this to come in. And then I just have this, undeserving kind of somebody else deserves it better. No, everybody is exactly equal. When you start to recognize you as that circle, meeting each other, you're equal, right? It's just that you are in alignment with more self-support at that moment. So say thank you. Thank yourself for gifting yourself that. See it as that. Anyways, so there is a lot of new energies present at the moment that are coming up for us, and with that will be the reflection of our own energy and our own work coming as beautiful gifts coming into our life, whether that is more freedom, more love, more abundance, as in whatever you need in your physical world, all the above. Yeah, we're leveling up, and to level up into what we really desire. What we want to create a beautiful world here, right? We want to create this into a happy space. then we have to allow receiving to come to us. Yeah, so that's really cool. Virgo rising here. Lots of Virgos in my life, Dave. Yeah. Okay. Is there anything else before I open up? I think I might open up for some Q&A now, if anyone has a question. If not, I'll just keep on channeling. All good. See what else comes through. They do keep on saying, open the animal book. So I have this animal book that's next to me here. Oh, don't forget, I actually have a new interview with beautiful Robert Carley and on Typical Skeptic podcast. So if I might have a look into putting that link down below as well on this channeling. So yeah, if you're interested in looking at that, some really crazy weird thing happened through that interview. It was bizarre, but then bizarre things happen to me anyway. And in the meantime, I have this book. It's really, really old. It's falling to pieces. Look, it's like falling to pieces. It's old. And it's been signed by the author, who's Stephen Farmer. Anyways, we'll open that up and then we will see what message we have for that as well. Hey, Haiti, is soul spirit a sort of information data? Okay, how can I put this? Soul. Okay, well, they show me at the beginning of life is just how can we put this? It was just pure essence of love, wanting to go on a journey, and to create a journey, it had to split itself into all these fractions. And so each of us our soul is like a fraction of source energy going on a beautiful journey, life after life after life, through all these different lives. And through that, wisdom, information is gathered. And it is held within the human capacity of being in this body. It is held, or it is allowed to come through our imagination. And so they taught me that the imagination isn't just some pie in the sky thing, although there is something that you can collectively imagine and move together and warp into something, but it actually holds also the lineage of your soul, the history of your soul and what it's gone through. So there is wisdom and information in all of that. So yes, and also that's because we're trying to process it with our logical brain. But when you take the logical brain out of it, which is trying to ground things into a physical realm and slower vibration and have a compartmentalized understanding of it, it doesn't fully understand what the essence of source of light is completely, because it is within the logical brain has had to find no light or a slower vibration of that light to be able to find a physical world, to be able to make a new playground to play in. I'm trying to make sense here with what they're gifting me and their wisdom. So it is information, but there is also more to it than what the logical brain could understand. So they're bringing me to a lady that was called Jill Bolt Taylor. If you look up her videos, one of the things they brought me to years ago, and she had her logical brain ended up having a massive tumor in it. It completely shut down. And when it shut down, her being a neurologist, she was like, oh my God, now I'm feeling what it's like to have a stroke right from the inside out. And she literally remembered the story. And when she did, she realized that her hand blended into the wall. When her logical brain completely went down, her hand became the wall, everything became her. So she became just pure soul, which is everything in essence is us. It's a hard one to explain, but it is more than information they're telling me, but that is part of, because the information is the journey that we've gone on. Source energy has gone on. Yeah. That's the only way that I can kind of put it at the moment. Maybe another good question to be brought up again. But that's the truth that I'm feeling into at the moment. Okay, so let's get a... Okay, we've got... This is the animal that I turn to, the page that I turn to, and I'm going to read it out. So we turn to the blackbird. So I think it's backwards, isn't it? The blackbird. The blackbird shows up. It means let go of your inhibitions and sing without concern of how it sounds or others' disapproval. Oh, just what I was talking about. It also says Archangel Uriel is with you, watching out for you and helping you connect with nature and nature spirits. Sound healing is one of your best treatments for whatever physical or emotional ailments, or melodies. I don't know what that means. You're experiencing. And melodies, MALADIES. I don't know what that means though. The gateway to your world of non-ordinary reality is open. Ooh, that's another thing that I brought up too. Beckoning you to follow your true spiritual path and enhance your awareness of the non-physical realm. And that's because we're learning to ground a lot more of that non-physical realm, because we are learning, and it's just going to be bit by bit, that there is a lot more expansion to humanity's consciousness, and we can ground a lot more than what we've been taught. This is particularly auspicious time to observe and heed any signs or omens that are showing up to you. So, yeah, I love that. Interesting that I pulled the blackbird, and that it pretty much goes with what I'm talking about. Thank you, Bobby. That was very complicated question and answer. I'll just go with the flow and see what comes through from them. Yes, it is, because it is hard for it. Sometimes it's difficult to comprehend something that's beyond what logic can comprehend. But this is where we need faith. This is where we need to trust, to jump into or leap into the unknown vortex of what our soul and our intuition can hold for us in this reality when it comes through. The logic has to shush for it to happen. So very hard to compartmentalize something that it has no understanding of. And when the fall happened in humanity, our intuitive mind got squished to the point where it was like, we don't want to listen to you anymore. So we poo-pooed the imagination, the intuition, and all that sort of thing. Our program that came at us was to not acknowledge it as much anymore, which meant that the logical mind, which was used to taking the story from the soul or from source energy, the imagination, the intuition, had nowhere to go in taking that story. So it searched outside of itself for a leader. And this is where we ended up projecting our outside story and asking for leadership to come into our reality to dictate our next move. Yes, you should go there. No, you shouldn't go there. And we're all going, but my gut's kind of feeling this way, and I'm getting pulled being told that I have to trust this person above my own self. this is the shift that's happening, and why when we bring the soul back in, we're starting to empower ourselves again. We're no longer needing to search outside ourselves for validation or for somebody to tell us what to do anymore. It's a big expansive awareness that humanity's coming to, but we're also recognizing, because of what we've just gone through, the true value of what logic can bring in, the true value of the tools that we can use through our memory, and what we can actually create physically in this realm. Yeah, so that's really cool. If there's any more questions, otherwise I think I'll wrap it up. See if there's any more that they want to bring through for this new energy. Stay tuned. This is big. This is coming. This, whatever's coming in, is coming big. Move through your life without as least reaction as you possibly can at the moment. As least reaction. And if that feels uncomfortable or weird, just have a go at it. It's through that you're going to start to see the shift, because you're not trying to push and control your outside world. You keep bringing it back to who you are, and allowing the soul to show you a new path, or show you the same path in a new light. It could be the same path with new perspective, and then you don't react the same way to each other, and then each other starts to reflect to you the love that you actually have. So it could be that you stay exactly where you're at, that there's no actual physical change, but the perception of reality changes, because you're no longer reacting like you did before, through self-protection, because you're already strong within yourself and knowing you trust your soul coming in more. Okay, I think I'll leave it there. Don't forget, I've got that video up on Typical Skeptical podcast with Robert, and yeah, and we'll see what happens in the next live channeling, as well as I will put it together. I'm putting together another video, and I do believe it's going to be on Earth's connection, channeling Earth, channeling Gaia. I think she needs to speak forth at the moment. Love you guys so much, and until next time, bye.